The Catholic Church has collected tens of billions of dollars in assets over the years, all under the nonprofit tax-exempt umbrella. Now, Pope Francis pointing fingers at U.S. companies and companies around the world who are not spending their money to his liking. Now, is the Pope really just the biggest hypocritical socialist of all? Joining me, Veronica, Dagher, wealth advisor columnist for the Wall Street Journal. Back with us is Pete Hegseth and Tammy Bruce. Let's take it to you, Veronica. What do you think?
You know, I think a lot of Catholic business leaders, the CEOs, are feeling alienated by some of the things he's saying. They're trying to do right by their workers. A lot of them are, these companies are very philanthropic. Our companies give a lot back to charity. They try to do right. Of course, there's some bad apples, right, in the mix. However, to categorize capitalism entirely as bad is really a misnomer. It has brought up a lot of people from poverty. The gap between the developed world and the developing world in terms of income has been shrinking, largely because of capitalism.
Right. And, you know, it's really, here's the issue. The Pope, you know, has consistently been attacking capitalism, Pete, when, you know, the half a dozen popes since the late 1800s through Pope, John Paul II said communism and socialism is the most evil economic system in the world. We don't seem to hear that message from Pope Francis. Right, Pete?
No, we don't. No, we don't. I mean, talk about income inequality. That is that income inequality that was referred to earlier between developed and non-developed countries because of what our capitalist society has unleashed, the wealth that it has brought. I mean, Pope Francis took his name from Francis of Assisi, who gave up privilege to live with the poor. What in the best of intentions, Pope Francis is seeking to help the poor, which has always been a tenet of the church. But if you really understand what that means uplifting as many people as possible, which capitalism has done like no other system this world has ever seen. So it means he has a fundamental misreading.
Right, Pete, and here's the thing. And by the way, gang, it's an open secret. I'm raised Catholic. I love being Catholic. I really get a lot of spiritual, and as many Catholics do, spiritual healing and uplifting and transcendence from the faith. We get it that the Pope is putting the gospel message of the poor at the center of what he is talking about. But to Pete's point, Tammy, there was a precipitous drop in poverty worldwide, 80% over the last, 4 decades or so, because of capitalism. And, capitalism has not really taken hold around the world. We've got more leftist, interventionist government flourishing around the world.
Yeah, look, I believe in God. I'm not a big fan of organized religion, but I understand the good works of the Catholic Church. And look, but here's the issue. Popes are just men in robes, right? You've got a divine message, an important message about faith. And here we see the human condition having an impact on the nature of the message overall. To Pete's point, of course, capitalism saves lives. In the world today, you look around, it's not income inequality. It is ISIS. It is barbarity. It is nations that don't have enough of the commitment to a capitalist society that has created powerful individuals and free lives that put them in a position of being victims effectively. And then, of course, it's our own leadership, whether they have the courage or not to do it. So this is about individual courage, recognition by the world about the importance of financial freedom, individual success and power, and a relationship with God. When it comes to popes, and I think others, it really is about their condition, their past, and we have to take all of that when we deal with these individuals.
Veronica, do you expect an encyclical from the Pope on, the evils of communism, 3 million people who starved after North Korea, do you think that will ever happen?
I don't think we're going to hear that, and I think it should be interesting to tune in on Thursday to see what he says to Congress. They might have a few surprises.
Interesting. Well, thank you, gang.